Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I just want to come on here and take a moment to say thank you to each and every single person who ever hit the subscribe button. For every single person who never quit on me, who always believed in me, who always trusted me as a YouTube creator, thank you from one heart to another. It is very difficult to find a niche and to fall into that niche and to have that niche accept you for the person that you are, but because we share in the same passion for Descendants and Zombies, obviously, this is the content, this is the stuff that has brought us all together. I was in a very dark place years ago. I had lost my mom to cancer. My dad had passed away after he had taken his own life from suicide, and that is very honest. That is honesty coming from my heart to yours. I never had a girl that I could keep in a relationship who would ever understand me or take the time to understand me for who I was, for sharing a passion with all of you for Descendants and Zombies. I was actually with a girl years ago who couldn't make sense of why I liked Descendants and Zombies as much as what I did. I liked it because of just how beautiful of a franchise it was, and the messages that it represented, because they were very powerful messages that inspired people to be better people than what they were prior to watching it. I remember in 2015 the premiere of these two series, and it was absolutely incredible seeing Descendants skyrocket to popularity the way that it did, and I very quickly fell in love with Dove Cameron for her portrayal of the character Mal, who exemplified defiance, who really stood up in the face of adversity and defied it every single time, and I think I fell in love quicker ever before with Kylie Cantrell with her portrayal of Red, the first ever portrayal of the young Queen of Hearts daughter, for how fearless she was, how she was never afraid of anybody, standing up for what she believed in, and regardless of whatever Descendants character you may see yourself through vicariously, thank you so much for just being here and allowing me to be a part of your life and opening up your heart to me every single time, because you didn't have to do that. You could have said, go away, Jonathan. You're not saying anything that makes any sense whatsoever, but you didn't. You took a chance on me as the watcher of these videos, as a subscriber of my YouTube channel, and you thought to yourself, this guy seems pretty cool, I'm going to hit his subscribe button. And if you're someone who has not subscribed, watching these videos for the first time, hi, it is an honor and a privilege to meet you, and I think you are an incredible person, and I think you're incredible enough to hit that subscribe button and take a chance on me, not because I want to achieve monetization like the majority of the YouTube creators out there who are throwing up the Descendants videos every 5 minutes on YouTube on this platform, but I've been here on YouTube ever since at least 2009. YouTube premiered in 2005, and YouTube exploded in popularity with the changes it made over the years, but each and every one of you seemingly pulled me from out of obscurity. I don't know if it was because you wanted a hero, you just loved hearing my voice, giving you analogies on Descendants and Zombies, but you helped me pretty much make sense of everything when I couldn't. You know, living in this lifetime as a guy is sometimes very challenging, and I know it's very uncharacteristic to hear a guy always talking about Descendants and Zombies on his podcast, because I've talked about a lot of different niches, and I've fallen into thousands of niches over the years, but I can honestly tell you that this is the most fun that I've had in my entire life, and because it's the most fun that I've had in my entire life as a YouTube creator and a radio show host and a blogger, I just want to do this for forever. And I wanted to ensure the future of these two franchises. I wanted to ensure the future of Descendants and Zombies fans. I wanted to make you feel inspired. I wanted to make you feel as if it was okay to see yourself vicariously through characters such as Red and Mal and Chloe, because that's what's important to you. And as a YouTube creator, you have to develop what's called a relationship between yourself and your audience. He or she does that sometimes. More often than not, they don't, because they don't care about their audience. I care about my audience. I care about what you feel. I care about what you're thinking. I care about what you love. So because the passion lies with Descendants and Zombies, that's why I'm creating this content for you every single day. I want to let you guys know that I will be throwing up a Descendants video or a Zombies themed video every single day on this YouTube channel over the period of 24 hours. They will be uploaded different times throughout the day, but they will be uploaded here. And that's something you can depend on. That's something you can count on, and that's something you can trust in, more importantly, because trust between a YouTube creator and he or she's audience is something that is very important and the critical ingredient to the success of a YouTube channel, the critical ingredient in the cauldron. If we can go back to Descendants 2 and that opening scene for Ways to be Wicked, you have to have trust, and you have to have an understanding of what your audience loves. And trust me when I say this, trust in me, and I will never let you down, because I know that you have a passion for Descendants and Zombies. I know you're searching up Descendants and Zombies every single night on your tablets or your phones. I know how it goes. You love it dearly. And in 2015, ever since then, I was the biggest Descendants fan in the world. And I don't regret having said one thing about Descendants that I've said over the past decade. I don't regret having stood up for Dove Cameron and those abusive relationships with Thomas Doherty and Ryan McCartan, which were complete nonsense when Dove Cameron couldn't be herself. I'm really happy that she's gotten away from the two of them because she deserved better in her life. And I want to say this about Kylie Control. She too deserved better in her life after getting out of an abusive relationship just last year. When a girl has to go to TikTok and talk about how she's being abused by her boyfriend and talk about her opinion about Donald Trump because people are criticizing her, I think that is complete nonsense. I think she deserves to have a right to privacy, as we all do. It's in the Constitution of Rights. I think that if she's not a Trump supporter, regardless if she is or she isn't, I think that's no reflection on the girl. I always thought she was a beautiful girl with so much passion for everything that she did. You can get that by going to her fan page on Facebook and all social media platforms. She is very connected with her fans, very connected and very appreciative of her audience. And I just love her eyes. I love the look in her eyes. I love just how passionate she is about everything she did, no matter if it was a reoccurring role on Bizaardvark as Tessa, Jasmine on Raven's Home, eventually Gabby Duran in The Unsittables, which was a shame, only got to 2 seasons. Big fan of her, big fan of Ruby Rose Turner, and for the life of me, I don't know how they're going to do Descendants 5 without Ruby. I know that the Descendants 4, The Rise of Red, received its fair share of criticism, and it really pissed me off. If it wasn't receiving its fair share of criticism, the stars and the actresses of the series were receiving their fair share of criticism for no reason whatsoever. People were making very inappropriate videos because they knew people were searching it up because of the popularity of it. And if people are searching up this content, you guys deserve the best quality content that you can find on YouTube, and that's what I just wanted to give to you from one heart to another. And I also wanted to share these very unique stories with you about my life so you could make sense of who I was. We could develop some kind of a relationship as friends, and you would understand the guy creating this content just as much as you understand the content yourself. I want to let you know that this YouTube channel will always be here for you. It is pretty much an open book, so it's pretty much what you want discussed on this YouTube channel, regardless if that's Descendants, Zombies, Phineas and Ferb, Tangled, whatever you want to hear discussed on this YouTube channel, it will be here for you, and it will be here for you 24/7, and it will give you something inspiring to run away with every single time. I never ever wanted to take away a person's dreams or hopes of forever existing, happily ever after being a possibility, because I think everybody deserves to believe in that. Not only that, but whatever you want to believe in, you deserve to believe in. You don't deserve to have it torn down or ripped away from you or torn apart. Everybody's had their heart ripped apart at one point or another in their life, and they can't make sense of that situation. So I wanted to come on here. I wanted to be the sweetest guy ever. I wanted to let you know that everything was going to be okay, and every message that I delivered and relayed on this YouTube channel, because that would leave a significant impact. It would make a significant impact and leave a forever imprint on each of your hearts. This is not a show, and what you see is what you get. I am very honest, very to the point about a lot of things. If I agree with stuff, I'm going to tell you about it, and if I don't agree with it, I'm going to let you know about it too. And what I don't agree with is this criticism, this profound criticism that never ceases to see its halt, never ceases to reach a point of finality for Descendants and Zombies, and their political points of view need to be left out of the conversation. I actually just saw a post about Donald Trump and his presidential running of the United States, and I don't agree with it. So I can understand why Kylie Control would feel the way she does about Mr. Trump. I want Kylie Control to know that I'm very serious about running for president of the United States and addressing the nation every night after 8 p.m. on YouTube after I play a game of PlayStation 5. I take what I say very seriously, and I take the opinions of these Descendant stars very seriously too. I take your opinions into consideration, and I take them very seriously. If I didn't take you very seriously, I would never have ever invested $4,500 into a YouTube channel. $4,500 later, I have an awesome YouTube channel, which I'm incredibly proud of, and I am equally as incredibly proud of and impressed by each and every one of you for your desire and your passion that you share for Descendants and Zombies. And I think if we're in the same boat, I guess we're going to have to sink together. If we're going down together, because I think that Descendants fans have never quit on each other. They've been very supportive of each other, and God knows you've been very supportive of me when I needed you the most. I just had a friend who became very infatuated with a lot of Bangladesh singers on Facebook, believe it or not. This is a really ridiculous story. She was always hitting the like button and the heart button for them. It really broke my heart, because I say this because I was the greatest YouTube creator of all time. ever since at least 2007, I was the greatest YouTube creator of all time. And I've seen YouTube go through these very different changes over the years. YouTube is very different from 20 years ago as we approach the 20th anniversary of YouTube. I must have produced over 4,000 videos on YouTube that she never ever cared about. She never ever could make sense of, and it really broke my heart knowing that she didn't like it as much as what I did. I loved creating content for each and every one of you. I never was shy on a podcast, and I never shied away from jumping on my podcast and talking to you about what I felt about a lot of different, no matter if that was about Disney, no matter if that was about Marvel, I was always here, and I was always here for each and every one of you. And there is no place in the world I would rather be than sitting behind this podcast microphone every single night for each and every one of you. Now, I can proudly say, because of each and every one of you hitting my subscribe button, I do have more subscribers than what he has ever had. On his music page, he's only got 1,000 subscribers, this Bangladesh singer that she's really infatuated with. But each and every one of you never ever quit on me, and because of you, I've almost got 3,000 subscribers, and I can't even believe that. Seriously, from my heart to yours, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for never ever quitting on me, and because of how far you have gotten this YouTube channel, how far you have pushed it out into the YouTube algorithm, every video that I'm uploading on this channel is exceeding the expectations of myself and obviously the YouTube algorithm, because every video I'm uploading on this channel now gets pushed further out into the YouTube algorithm. Your phones really are beacons of light, and you've shown me the way out of darkness time and time again, and you're very passionate about what you believe in. Everybody is subscribing to this YouTube channel. I think even if you're not a fan of Descendants or Zombies, you're subscribing to this YouTube channel. I don't know if it's because you trust in me or you just like hearing my voice, offering you my critique, opinions, and analogies about Descendants and Zombies, because this story is far from over. I will never ever quit on each and every one of you, and I will always be here. I know I have gone away for a period of over 7 years. I left from 2018 to 2024, and then I had to take a brief reprieve from what I was doing halfway through the launch of this YouTube channel, and I had to relaunch my entire content because of a lot of criticism that I was receiving and I was victim of. But I want to let you guys know that this YouTube channel will never die because of each and every one of you. You may not realize this, but you have slowly but surely repaired my heart after all the damage I've had to endure, all the friends that I thought were friends that I lost, all the girls that I were in relationships with. You guys made me find purpose. You gave me purpose in this lifetime, and I can't thank you enough for that. I will always be forever grateful for each and every one of you for doing what you did for me. You helped me out of a dark place, and you gave me purpose, and thank you so much for that from one heart to another. I am really excited about Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland. I wanted the Descendants cast to actually live here with me because I wanted to give them a better, enjoyable experience, a very fun experience for Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland. There are a lot of scenes that I could shoot here in Newfoundland. The scenery is absolutely beautiful where I live. When I moved into this house, I couldn't believe how breathtaking the scenery was. I have a patio connected to this house. It is absolutely gorgeous. I would even give my backyard to the Descendants cast to shoot scenes. I would take them all over this island to shoot scenes for Descendants. I would even do it for Zombies because I know how passionate each and every one of you are about this, and I know that this franchise has received its fair share of criticism. The reason why it's receiving its fair share of criticism and why it's made no sense to anybody is because of the director's lack of creativity. You need a better director and you need a better producer. That's why it's receiving so much criticism, and you really need to have a director who really knows what he or she is doing. And you can rest assured that I know what I'm doing because I appreciate characters who have yet to see their introduction into Descendants, and I appreciate the characters who have made Descendants as a franchise an incredible experience for everybody. Everybody deserves an incredible experience as a fan of Descendants, and I don't know why the writers and directors are not giving it to you. Maybe it's because of a lack of a budget, a lack of creativity, a lack of enthusiasm. I really don't know. And I say a lack of enthusiasm from the writers and producers. I have never seen a lack of enthusiasm from someone like Ruby Rose Turner, who is just so full of life. That's why I love her so much. She is so full of life. She is so beautiful. She is so gorgeous. I can never say enough good things about Ruby Rose Turner, and I'm going to miss her dearly. I didn't even know Ruby was opting out of Descendants 5. I didn't even know she was dropping out. The reason I found out about it was because I heard a conversation between Kylie Contrell and one of her fans over the phone. on TikTok, I believe. And I was heartbroken because I was looking forward to seeing Ruby having something to do with Descendants 5. And just because Bridget's character is dropping out of the franchise, just because Bridget is dropping out of the franchise as a whole, does not mean Ruby couldn't come back as a different character. Again, I go back to, the lack of creativity and freedom being given to actresses of this series from the directors who don't really understand or appreciate what they're all about. Ruby has wanted to play Rapunzel for forever. And because Ruby's wanted to play Rapunzel for forever, I think she should be given the opportunity to play either Rapunzel or Rapunzel's daughter and see what happens. I know that Ruby was a beautiful, beautiful representation of the young Queen of Hearts. It really helped us understand why the Queen of Hearts became the way she did. I concur with everybody about how annoying the Queen of Hearts was as a villain. She was the most annoying Disney villain ever. Her voice got on everybody's nerves. Her opinions about everybody was never taken into consideration. And she ultimately became the most annoying Disney villain of all time, ultimately achieving her purpose because that's why she was created. She was created to be the most annoying Disney villain of all time. But I really think this franchise is a long way away from being over. I don't think we should really accept the opinions of other creators out there on YouTube. It's pretty much a bunch of bullshit how they are saying that we have reached the point of finality for Descendants. We are running out of characters to examine. We are running out of supernatural creatures for zombies. Please don't ever believe that. Please don't ever believe that. If you ever believe anybody, believe me. Because we are a long way away from ever seeing this end. For those of you who have never studied stage productions such as Dracula or Phantom of the Opera, there are so many supernatural characters, there are so many supernatural scenarios that we can see twists and turns take for Descendants or zombies because of the history of folk literature, the history of horror. There is a long way to go. And I think there was a lack of magic in Descendants. We don't really see enough magic. I think the most significant magic we saw was from the Queen of Hearts because her army was in her cards, which was really cool. How she just wanted to overtake Auradon with her power. There was obviously a power struggle there. We could also have a scenario in upcoming Descendants movies for the franchise where there is a power struggle, say, between, Red and Pink or other Descendants characters such as Red and Chloe because of the conflict we saw there. Again, a lack of creativity from the writers and producers, a lack of enthusiasm, if anything. We don't see that from the cast, but we're seeing it from the people who are on the production team of this, which is why you guys have got to hit the subscribe button and get me in as part of the production team to really bring this one to life in a way that you deserve to have it brought to life. I think that this needs to stop, the criticism for Descendants and Zombies, and if anything, we need to take a chance on Descendants and Zombies. We need to believe in it more than what we're believing in it. And I think that at least 50% of you believe in it, and the other 50% has been divided down the middle, and that's where the controversy is ascending from. It's because of the 50% of you that don't trust in Descendants or Zombies. I want to give you back that trust. I want you to hear something nice about Descendants and Zombies. I don't want to give your favorite stars criticism, and if anything, I want to support your favorite stars because I think they are beautiful. I think they are incredibly gorgeous and incredibly talented. And it really breaks my heart every single time I hear somebody tearing them down because of their beliefs, their opinions. In no way, shape, nor form should Kylie Contrell's political point of view be dropped into the conversation. In no way, shape, nor form should Descendant stars be looked at sexually. In no way, shape, nor form should people be swearing in videos. In no way, shape, nor form should they be presenting this content the way that it doesn't deserve to be presented. If you're presenting the content, present it in an engaging way that each and every one of you can feel inspired from it and take something away from it and really run away with your own opinion about Descendants and Zombies, which you are welcome to share in the comments of any video in these archives. Now, I know sometimes I don't really agree with the opinions of Ryan McCartan and Thomas Doherty, and I say that because they are real pieces of shit. For how they treated Dove Cameron, how they treated Ryan McCartan, how they treated Dove Cameron in their relationships. It's absolutely ridiculous. Dove Cameron was so passionate about everything she believed in, but the thing that really stood out to me about Dove Cameron is that she couldn't be herself because of how Ryan McCartan wanted to have this flawless image in his relationship with Dove Cameron, and he wanted the media to perceive them for the way that he wanted them to be perceived, not how she wanted to be perceived. I'm really thankful that Dove Cameron now, for the first time ever, has the opportunity to be herself and perceive herself for the way she wants to be perceived and to really put her image out there in a way that her image should be being put out there. Oftentimes I apologized last year for a lot of things that I said about Ryan McCartan and Thomas Doherty, and I'm still apologizing about it, but I didn't really hold anything back. People were emailing me about the situation years ago, and when I was reading my emails, and people were suggesting that I offered some critique opinions about Ryan McCartan and Dove Cameron's relationship, and Dove Cameron and Thomas Doherty's relationship, I thought to myself, that guy looks like someone off the Captain Crunch cereal box, and he really did. It was absolutely ridiculous. Let me just say this. A girl deserves to be with somebody who appreciates them for who she is, loves you for who you are, and doesn't contradict anything that you say or believe. The thing a guy really needs to understand is a girl's beliefs are very different from the belief that he has. And if you don't understand that the girl's belief is very different from the belief that you have, or the way that they should be perceiving themselves, then pretty much it's a waste of your time and you should move on. I know there are a lot of girls probably watching these videos that are suffering through the same kind of thing, trying to make sense of the relationship. They probably got a crush on a guy who doesn't pay any attention to them. If he doesn't see how good of a person you are, then forget about him and move on with your life and focus on what's important, and that is family, and that is the ones who love you. And I think that the truest words that were ever said by a Disney character were the words of Stitch, who said, "Ohana means family, and nobody gets left behind." And I really believe that. I really concur with that, because nobody should ever be left behind. Nobody should ever be made to feel like a ghost. Trust me. I know that Bridget's character in this franchise felt like a ghost more times than enough because she was bullied, and that was what her character was trying to illustrate for us. It's just how, no matter how much you're bullied, you should always stand up for what you believe in and never be afraid to represent yourself for who you really are. And if spreading kindness is your message, then spread kindness. Don't ever hold back how you really feel about somebody. Don't ever be afraid to share your opinion. And if you want to spread kindness all of your life, which ultimately was the goal I wanted to achieve with this YouTube channel, then do it. Don't ever not be yourself for somebody else. Don't ever be the way somebody else wants you to be, and just perceive yourself for who you are, because ultimately you will come out on the other side of the spectrum as a stronger person. And ultimately, that's what I wanted to achieve on this YouTube channel, was a message of kindness, and just to inspire you to be kind to one another, because I can guarantee you there is somebody in your life who has not heard the words "I love you" today, who are just waiting to hear the words "I love you," and those words could come from you. So pick up your phone, DM somebody, and tell them that you love them, and you just want them to know that. And if they ask you why you're telling them that, say, "I just wanted you to know that." And you will not realize how big of an impact or an imprint you will leave on their heart for saying that, because there is somebody out there who would love to hear those words, and hear those words from you. And you could be that person that makes their life a whole lot better today, because of what they're struggling with, no matter what their struggles are, because everybody has a different opinion on life. Everybody has a different outlook, different inspirations, I know, but that's what creates diversity. If everybody in the world shared in the same passion or the same interest, the world would be a very boring place, would it not? I like professional wrestling. I like animation. Some other girl might like to dance. Some other girl might like to paint. A girl I talk about a lot here on the show, who I had a friendship with, who I just lost a friendship with because of things keeping us apart, she loves to paint. And one thing that I've always told her is that painting really illustrates to me how wonderful a person she actually is. You can learn a lot from a person, from the type of music they listen to, what their interests are, regardless if that's painting, drawing, learning how to dance, learning to be an actress, learning the art of choreographing. You can learn a lot about a person, and it really illustrates how beautiful a person actually is. And I learned that from her. And ultimately, regardless of our opinions being very different in life, she was my best friend. She became my best friend and became infatuated with people who obviously love to play guitar and indie bands. I don't know what it is about indie bands. People take great interest in indie rockers who don't even make that much money. I worked on the independent music scene for years, and if a guy has 1,000 subscribers on Facebook on their indie band page, they are an incredible person. I just don't get that. I never did get that. And then you have Ruby Rose Turner, who has 1 million followers on Facebook. Kylie Cantrell, who has 1 million followers. That's incredible. Let me just say this. To be in the music industry, you really have to have an ear for music, and you really have to write music and sing music that makes sense. You just don't sit in front of a guitar or a keyboard and contemplate one lyric to a song, and it makes no sense. I have, so many times over the years, I've sat in studios, and I've listened to people's compilations, and I've looked at them, and I've started taking notes, and I said to myself, what you just sang made no sense to me whatsoever. And I say that because you don't sing from your heart. You're just pretty much taking a song that somebody already had previously written, and you're writing your own version of that song, which tells me nothing about you. What you have to do is you have to write something that tells the person that you're writing it for, presenting your content for, that tells you something about yourself to that person that they don't know. I can sit here and I can interview Dove Cameron and I can ask her the same 50 questions that she's been asked in 500 different interviews on 500 different podcasts. So how does that make me any different from anybody else that's previously interviewed her? What does that tell her about me that separates me from everybody else? Nothing. So the same analogy can be applied to music. If you're just, writing a cover to somebody's song that makes no sense, well then the purpose of it is pretty much defeated. So what you have to do is you have to write something that tells me something about you, and then I'm going to like your music. If you don't do that, then I'm not going to like you. I've turned down so many people who have offered me content to produce them over the years because they just don't make sense of it. And just to let you guys in a little secret, I've heard a lot of stuff that really makes no sense to me whatsoever. I know that people are doing it because they feel inspired by it, but if you're doing it, you got to do it the right way. And that ultimately is what I've wanted to do with this YouTube channel. Is I wanted to create something that you would feel inspired by. I love how Descendants was the first musical to blow up since High School Musical. I love how so many people are inspired by it. I love how young girls show up at my door every year on Halloween dressed up as your favorite Descendants characters. I love that dearly. I love that so much about you. I hope you keep doing it. And I love that everybody shares in the same passion. A passion that has brought us all together. A passion that I love from my heart to yours so much. I love it just as much as each and every one of you do. I remember the premiere of Descendants in 2015. I gravitated to it pretty much just as fast, like rapid fire, like all of you. I thought the cast was so passionate about everything they believed in. I thought the color scheme was absolutely amazing. I thought the plot that unfolded was great. It kept us guessing, and it was the first Disney Channel original series that actually kept us guessing. From installment to installment, something different happened. One of my all-time favorite Descendants movies was Descendants 2, hands down, because the way the cast presented themselves, the music was a whole lot better from the original Descendants in 2015, so by 2017 they were really coming into their own. And this new music that we're hearing for Descendants The Rise of Red, and going to be hearing for Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, everything from the song Red to Life is Sweeter When You Were, really fell into place. And it really allowed me to fall into this niche with such a huge impact, more than I've fallen into any other niche that I've ever had the privilege of covering. I want to say thank you to each and every single person who has ever made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies, because I don't know if it was because you guys wanted a hero. I don't know if it was because you guys just loved the sound of my voice. I've always believed that I would love to have been the voice of Descendants and Zombies. I probably would have had a bigger impact than Uma did, saying that everybody got what they wanted at the end of The Rise of Red, but one shouldn't expect to mess with the fabric of time and not expect consequences. And you didn't think the story was over, did you? Because if you do think the story is over, I think we've still got a long way to go, and I'm really excited to see what direction we are headed in. I always wanted the opportunity to drive a side-by-side through a rabbit hole. I know the rabbit hole has been closed for years, but I always wanted the opportunity to drive a side-by-side through a rabbit hole because it looked so much fun. Everything they did in the Descendants franchise looked like a whole lot of fun, from using a pocket watch to go back in time. I know Kylie Cantrell has always wanted to go back in time and live through the 90s. I grew up in the 1990s and it was so much fun. Everything from TV to music really fell into the right place, really touched my heart. I remember the day I got my hands on the first Backstreet Boys album. That was May 6, 1996. Every year after, the Backstreet Boys would drop a new album from 1996 to 1999. By 2002, when Black and Blue was released, the Backstreet Boys were established as the greatest boy band of all time. And I was the biggest Backstreet Boys fan ever. Every single night I could be caught listening to the Backstreet Boys, just as I can be caught listening to my favorite Disney song off my favorite Disney movie soundtrack. Every single night, I kid you not. I was the biggest Backstreet Boys fan. I know that's really uncharacteristic to hear a guy talking about the Backstreet Boys and being a fan of musicals such as Wicked. But I really think Descendants was the first movie that really felt like a Wicked production. Really felt like a musical, a Harry Potter kind of thing. And I think this this franchise could be turned into a TV series that could go a long way, probably 7 seasons, with the cast members coming back to reprise the roles. I know people are closing the book all the time on Nell coming back to reprise her role. I know a lot of people would be excited about it, but let me just say this. If I was the writer and producer of Descendants, you guys would see a whole lot of magic happening. You would see stars returning to reprise the role. You would see the $158 billion of revenue put to use in a way that it should have been put to use years ago. And you would see the stars of this franchise as a whole appreciated a lot more than what they had been, because I think that a lack of understanding between the writers and producers and the actresses of this series is limited, and I think that they should have a whole different experience, a whole more enjoyable experience that I can give to them. I really could give that to them. I put the guys down in the downstairs apartment that I have, the girls up here with me. I would go back to pro wrestling. They would have groceries dropped off to them once every week. They would have a whole different experience from what they are having now. So yeah, I would love to be the writer and producer of Descendants and Zombies and just make this a really enjoyable experience for them, because that's what they deserve. They don't deserve to be victims of criticism every single day they open up their eyes. I can only imagine how heart-wrenching that must be for Kylie Cantrell to be Googling herself all the time. It got to a point, and I know this because I understand Kylie Cantrell a lot better than what she probably understands herself, or anybody else out there. It got to a point where she just stopped Googling herself because of all the negative reviews she was reading about her performances and herself. All the videos that she was seeing, all the photos that were being photoshopped of her. It was heart-wrenching for me as a fan of it, to watch it and to see it. It got to the point where she actually had to address how she didn't want to Google herself on TikTok, and her opinion about Donald Trump. Let me just say this, Kylie. Everything can be fixed. There is definitely something that can be done about it. And if people refuse to stop criticizing you, I guess I'm going to have to run for president of the United States in 2028. Everything can be fixed, and we can do something about it. Because I know, you're probably saying to yourself, do you really think you can beat Donald Trump in the presidential race in 2028? Yeah, I do. And I'll tell you why I know I can. I know I can because I have each and every one of you. All of you are going to come out in unison and vote for me for the president of the United States in 2028, because there are 10 million of you. And as long as I have 10 million Descendants and Zombies fans behind me, nobody's going to beat me. That was the conversation years ago, before Kylie Cantrell was ever born. The conversation was Jonathan Clarke running for president of the United States. So if anything, 15 years later, after the birth of Kylie Cantrell, June 25th, 2005, I guess Kylie's showing me new initiative, giving me initiative and incentive to run for president of the United States. If you actually do a Google search, you'll probably find different articles where people actually discussed me running for president of the United States. So if anything, Kylie has given me new purpose to run for president of the United States and beat out the Trump initiative. The Trump regime could be replaced by me. I know because of each and every one of you, and I have no problem addressing the nation every single night on YouTube after 8 p.m. after I finish playing a couple of PlayStation 5 video games. But I want the Descendants cast, more importantly, to know that everything is going to be okay, and I want you to know that everything is going to be okay, because I will never quit on you. This YouTube channel will always be here for each and every one of you. I have a Descendants video for you all to watch right now. I've got a bunch of them. I don't really know which one I'm going to show, but I love showing these videos for you every time I come here on YouTube. So if you get a minute, please hit my subscribe button. Support my presidential campaign by subscribing to this YouTube channel as we watch this video together.
Any advice that she gave you while you were working together?
Yeah, I mean, Rita's so cool. Like, she's seriously, like, the most, like, modest and humble person. Like, she's the type that, like, after a take, she just kills it. Like, absolutely kills this role. And she'll just do this incredible scene, and then after the director yells cut, she'll look at me and be like, how was that? Like, was that good? Rita, you killed it. Like, so she's so, so sweet. And, she gave me advice about, like, yeah, just staying true to myself throughout my journey. And of course, I want to kind of model myself after her, especially as an artist myself. And even silly advice, like boy advice. Too.
Oh, what's her boy advice?
Okay, this is Rita's boy advice. She said, don't waste your time. They suck. Pretty much. That's what I took away from it.
Yeah, all right.
Noted.
Yes, duly noted.
You're busy right now.
You're busy. You're very busy. Thank you, Kylie.
For sure.
Yeah, I want you guys to know this. The day of Descendants criticism ends now. The days of Descendants criticism stop now. Because you guys have ultimately deserved better. You've even deserved better from hearing about Cameron Boyce's death. I remember in 2019 when he passed away, and everybody just immediately resorted to criticizing it, and it was absolutely ridiculous. You guys have deserved better ever since then. Ever since the premiere of Descendants, you have deserved better. And I've wanted to give that to you. I've never ever wanted to quit on you. I've never ever wanted you to doubt me, and all I've ever wanted is to develop trust between myself and my audience. And I love doing what I do. I love this. There is no better niche, no more powerful niche that I would have ever wanted to fall into than this niche right here. I don't know if the Descendants cast love me as much as what each and every one of you do. But thank you so much for your love and support. Thank you so much for making me the voice of Descendants and Zombies for as long as you have, for the better part of the last decade. It has been an honor and a privilege to just sit behind this microphone, to be able to sit behind this microphone and critique Descendants and Zombies in the way that it deserves to be critiqued, and to share my very authentic and very different opinion about these two franchises with each and every one of you who love it so much. I do it because I know you appreciate it. I do it because I know you love it. And one can only hope as a YouTube creator someone is going to hear his voice, hit his subscribe button, which I need you to do. I need you to hit my subscribe button to boost the morality of this YouTube channel, to push it further out into the algorithm, because when it gets pushed further out into the algorithm, only magic and good things will happen because of it. I'm here for you, because when I was left with nobody, you guys were all I had. And from my heart to yours, thank you so much for making me a part of your life. Thank you so much for opening up your heart to me. And thank you so much for trusting in me just as much as I've trusted each and every one of you to hit my subscribe button, because this is the most fun that I've ever had in my entire life. A lot of great videos around the way on this YouTube channel. We got the birthday of Kylie Control coming up on June 25th. That's going to be a whole lot of fun for everybody. And some great videos are also on the way for people who are fans of Phineas and Ferb, Tangled, Zombies. You're going to want to keep it locked here on this YouTube channel, because I've got a lot of fun stuff planned and stuff that you're really going to love and stuff you're really going to enjoy. So hopefully you will think this YouTube channel is really cool. The guy hosting the show is really unbelievably sweet. One can only trust in that. I hope you love my voice. I hope you think I'm sweet enough to hit the subscribe button, and I hope you love this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your life, opening up your heart to me. With that being said, what do you say we take this opportunity to go spread some kindness on this gorgeous day right now? With that being said, bye YouTube. We will do it again tomorrow night.